Homework 1.7D. So here we are using geometric formulas. I do want to note that you will not really need to memorize most of these formulas. You will have actually a um, cheat sheet kind of reference sheet that you get every year that will have some of these formulas on them for the PARCC test. But I'm just going to reference these right here. You're going to use them for this. All right. So it says a rectangle has a length of 3.5 units and a width of 9 units. Find its perimeter. So here we're looking at perimeter of a rectangle. Remember, if we draw a rectangle, the perimeter is measuring the distance around the rectangle, okay? And so we have one length here, one width here, and one width here, right? And so to find the perimeter, we add those all up together. So we get 2L plus 2W gives us our perimeter. So 2 times 3.5 plus 2 times 9 gives us 2 times 3.5 is 7, so 7 plus 18, which gives us 25 units. Okay, and then we don't know what the units are in this, whether they're centimeters, inches, etc., but do note that when we know that, we should list it as it is. All right, so then if we have a rectangle with a perimeter of 25 units and a width of 9 units, find its length. Well, we have this information above, and we know that 2 times L plus 2 times 9 would equal 25, and therefore 2L would equal 25 minus 18, or 2L is equal to 7, so L equals 3.5. And then it says a rectangle has a perimeter of 18 units. All right, so and a width of 4 units. So we have 2L plus 2 times 4 equals 18. So that's 2L equals 18 minus 8, or 2L equals 10. Therefore, L equals 5. It says, look at your steps and answers so far. Are there any patterns that you could use to help solve the next two problems a little bit more easily, right? So if you notice, when we start with a perimeter of 18 and we have the width of 4, if we go ahead and divide 18 by 2, and then we subtract W, what do we get then, right? So if I were to divide this 18 by 2, 18 divided by 2 equals 9. Let me go ahead and turn off my notifications, y'all. There we go. Okay, so 18 divided by 2 equals 9, and then subtract, we know the width is 4, we get 5 above, so that's what we get there. So if I divide our perimeter by 2 and then subtract the width, then we can get the length that way. So let's try that. We have a perimeter of 24, so we divide that by 2, we get 12, and then we have the width of 11, so 12 minus 11 gives me 1. Well, let's test that. If I have 2 times 1 plus 2 times 11, does that equal 24? And we get 2 plus 22, that does equal 24, so yes, that works out. Let's try another one. Perimeter of 15, so we're doing 15 divided by 2, which is going to give us 7.5. And then a width of 3 units, so minus 3 gives us 4.5. Again, we can test it. 2 times 4.5 plus 2 times 3 gives us 9 plus 6. That does, in fact, give us 15, so we know that works. So we can teach someone else to find the length of a rectangle using the perimeter and the width by saying that if we take half of the perimeter or divide P by 2, then subtract the width, we can find the length. All right, so you're going to do the same thing, the same process, except now looking at area. Now remember, area is what is filled in, the measurement of the space inside, and that's measured by length times width. So length times width gives us our area. We have 4 times 9 equals 36. And again, we don't know what the units are, so we're just going to say square units. If it was centimeters, we would say centimeters squared. If it was meters, we'd say meters squared, but we don't know what they are. So we're just going to say 36 square units. Now, if it gives us that a rectangle is 36 square units and has a width of 9, and we want to find the length, we can divide both sides by 9, and we will get L equals 4, which we saw up above. If it has 50, and we have a width of 10 times the length, and we divide both sides, divide both sides by 10, then we get L equals 5. Now, if we look at our steps so far, are there any patterns you could use to help you solve the next two problems equally? Well, I can see if I divide area divided by the width, then I'm able to get the length. So if we do 25 divided by 5, we get 5. If we get 39 divided by 6, you'll get 6, and you'll have 3 left over. So 6 and 3/6, or 6.5. All right. And then it says, gee, how would you teach someone else to find the length of the rectangle? So here, I'm not going to tell you this because I just went through all of those with you, but go ahead and, using what you saw above, utilize that to figure out how would you explain that to somebody else, okay? Now, the triangle piece, again, is very similar. So if we have the area of a triangle equals 1/2 the base times the height. Now, just to help you visualize this, the base is down here, and this is the height, okay? So the area of the triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. So if it has a base of 5 units and a height of 4 units, this would be 1/2 times 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 1/2 of that equals 10. All right, if you wanted to also do 1/2 of 5 is 2.5. 2.5 times 4 is also 10. And again, these are 10 square units, whatever those units are. Okay, a triangle has an area of 10 units. Now we're working backwards. 10 equals 1/2 times base times 4, right? 1/2 of 4 is 2, so this equals 10 equals 2b. That means that b has to equal 5. All right, try it with this one. A triangle has an area of 12. 1/2 times b times 8 is the height. See if you can find the base. All right, so that's how you're going to set it up. And then for D, again, just like we did above, you're going to explain what patterns are you seeing, right? To get from the area with the height, how do we find the base? All right, and then E and F is going to have you do more practice. So again, using this formula, and then thinking about how you would teach someone else to find that pattern. So D, E, F, and G you can do on your own now that you've seen me work through 2 examples. Again, today's is really short, so I anticipate that this will take you no time at all. But if you have any questions, you can always reach out and ask me. I'm happy to answer those. Your code word for today will be fruit punch. So write fruit punch at the top of your paper and you can earn extra credit. If you have any questions, reach out and have a wonderful weekend.